What's up, everybody? Let's get this show started, shall we? Good to be back. I hope you're all doing well. I'll get to you guys in the chat in a minute. Kevin, I see you already. I see you. Happy New Year, y'all. What's going on, everybody? It's 32 degrees outside, and it's snowing here in New York. It's the morning afternoon live stream coming at you in 2025. Starting right now. Happy New Year! You blew it! Yeah! Wow. What's up, everybody? I am back. We're all back. Brand new year. Let's start it off with a bang, shall we? Big bang. All right. What's up, everyone? I'm a little rusty because it's been a minute, but good to be back. Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday celebration. I hope you had some good time off. I hope you ate a lot of good food. I hope you spent time with a lot of great family, friends, did what you have to do, watch some movies, watch some TV, play some games, do some fun stuff. And now I know a lot of you are back on the grind now in this new year. So I hope everything was hunky-dory. Do people even say that anymore? Hunky-dory. Like what freaking generation do I live in? But anyways, it's good to be back in this year of our Lord 2025. Like I said, it is snowing outside. I would say this is probably our first official real snowstorm of the season. We got some snow last month, but nothing too crazy. This one is sticking a bit more than normal, but I don't think it's going to last that long. But I would say this is probably the first official snowstorm of the season. So that's always nice to see, but it's been very cold lately. You know, like I said, it's 32 degrees outside Fahrenheit right now. But we've gotten as low as freaking 25, even 20 on certain nights. But yeah, it is winter. We are in it. It has come. You know who else has come? Mufasa. Mufasa has come for the big bucks at the box office. And we're going to be talking about that and how Mufasa went from losing to Sonic on its opening weekend to now reclaiming the box office all throughout the holidays, which is crazy when you think about it. I was not expecting that to happen one bit. But again, it goes to show you that not all good movies are the ones that make it to the top. Sometimes even mediocre movies can win box office dollars as long as it has Disney IP behind it. So Disney's strategy and Bob Iger's strategy seems to be working pretty well right now. So we're definitely going to talk about that. We'll also recap some of the box office numbers of 2024. What are the top movies of the year, money-wise? And what are some of the movies that I am highly anticipating for this year? And so on and so forth. So Kevin Davis already, even before the show started, had to come in because he's so excited about Sonic 3, saying global box office total run was going to be 450 to 500 million. Well, we'll see where it is right now. PDQ's in the house, tons of food and not so great travel experience as well. It wouldn't be the holidays without some crappy experience either on a plane, train, or an automobile. I mean, if you ever watched that movie, you know exactly what goes down during holiday travels. And it happens to the best of us. So I'm sorry to hear about that. But it looks like you've survived. As well you should have. But it's all good. Again, big thank you to everyone who is watching live or on demand. You know, I took some time off for the holidays, not only to spend it with family, but, you know, to just recharge my batteries. You know, it was a crazy year last year, and I needed some time to myself to just think about the new year, think about what I'm planning for the channel. And I have I have a lot of thoughts and ideas. I won't share them all with you right now. I'll share them sporadically as they come into more fruition, especially once I settle into the new space, which is probably going to happen by the end of the month. But it's just good to feel more energized and more clear, have that clarity in your mind. That's something that I like to do towards the end of the year, is just have some time to myself to reflect and to really plan out what I want to do for the upcoming year and all that. Especially since January is my birthday month. So it really feels like the new year really starts when my birthday drops like that. So I feel like I still have some time between the new year and my own personal new year to really, really figure out how I want to foresee this year coming and what I want to do here on the channel and all that. So I have some, cool ideas, some big, big projects in mind that probably won't see any light of day until maybe halfway through the year and all that. But I'll be working hard to make sure that it's at least fun and entertaining for all you guys to see. So basically what I'm trying to get at is I am so thankful and grateful for all you guys for your continued support. And for, watching the streams or watching any other videos, liking, commenting, all that stuff. Everything is very helpful. And I'm always, always very, very happy with the support I get. Yeah, I'm not getting like hundreds of views or 100 concurrent viewers on the live streams, but you know what? I don't honestly don't care, because the viewers that I do have are very engaging, and only time will allow this community to grow. So, as PDQ says, let's all get our bag this year. You damn right. Let's make it happen, captains. Kevin Davis, shocked and surprised that Wicked and Anora was shot out at the Golden Globes. I'm not. I've said this before, and I'll continue to say this again. The Golden Globes is a hot mess of an awards ceremony. It's hard for me to really take it seriously. You also have to think about it this way. It is the foreign press who is involved in the committee and the voting and all that. So when I think of movies like Wicked and Anora, all you have to do is look at the worldwide box office results for those things. Nobody internationally, well, I shouldn't say nobody, but not a lot of people internationally has seen Anora. Wicked has not taken off as much as I thought it would internationally. It's really the majority of the fanfare has been coming more domestically. I think in time, Wicked will do better internationally, but I'm not surprised that it didn't get any kind of play at the Golden Globes. As far as the results that we saw, I also wasn't surprised. I mean, the winners speak more to a kind of more international market, international audience, especially with that actress who won actress for that small independent foreign movie that nobody has heard of. But I had a chance to see at New York Film Festival, and I think it's well deserved. It was something that we were buzzing about at the festival when we saw that performance and we saw how strong she was. The movie itself is an interesting movie. It's kind of a depressing movie based on a true story of dictatorship and a father disappearing. But her performance was stellar. It was between her and the actress, I think John Baptiste, I forgot her full name, from Hard Truths. Those two performances were like the biggest talks of the film festival as far as actresses were concerned. Yeah, we were also talking about Angelina Jolie and of course Mikey Madison for Anora. But really the surprise came from these two actresses. So especially given that it's a foreign film and it's a foreign voting committee, international press, I'm not surprised that, the results that we got is what we got. Now, I do also feel that this is going to be one of those years where we're going to see so many different results across the board. And it kind of shows you the breadth of differences and the breadth of different kinds of movies that we got last year that appeals to different groups and different audiences. like I'm seeing a lot of the results of the film critic circles and some of these smaller award ceremonies outside of the Golden Globes. And even though there may be some similarities, there's also a lot of differences as far as what people are considering to be the best films of the year, best performances of the year, um, all this kind of stuff like that. So I won't be surprised. And I know a lot of people usually like to use the Golden Globes as a litmus test of what we're going to see at the Oscars. Even though there may be some similarities, I guarantee you there's going to be some surprises come Oscar time. And we'll all find out when the nominations are announced next week. Funny enough, they're being announced on my birthday. So I guess I will be streaming on my birthday in the morning at least and covering the nominations announcements and all that. So stay tuned for all of that. Scorched is back in the house. What's going on, buddy? I haven't seen you in a minute. Happy New Year to you as well. Aren't you shifting? I just shifted a month back. Are you saying like moving? I am, and I'm planning to do so by the end of the month. I just been doing a lot of prep on the other spot, cleaning it out. I'm in the middle of doing some painting and all that stuff like that. So I will be doing that towards the end of the month if that's what you're referring to. But so good to see you again. I hope you've been doing well. I hope you enjoyed the end of your year. Arnold's also in the house. Hey, brother, it's nice to see you again. Wish you and your family happy New Year and only the best. Same to you as well. I hope you have a fantastic 2025. Any updates on the job situation? I know you've been waiting for a special phone call. Let me know. Scorch, I am a Capricorn. Some have said I am a very typical Capricorn, which I don't believe so. I think my moon is in Uranus, and I share the shadow of the Earth tree. I don't know. I don't believe a lot in the horoscope stuff. I think when I was much younger in high school, I kind of looked too much into those things, and it's like, oh, these are the traits of Capricorns. Oh, let me see. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Loyal, determined, overachiever, blah, 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 whatever the case is. But yes, I am a Capricorn, so it is what it is. Jester is also here. Happy New Year to you too as well, buddy. I wish you great stuff for the new year and success. I know you're working on something special, so I can't wait to see that this year as well. No wonder why you like me. Oh, you're a Capricorn as well. See, there you go. See, we're in good company. We're definitely in good company. So happy to see it. If you guys want to share any stories about how you spent your New Year's, did any of you get pissed drunk? Any accidents? Anyone fall flat on their faces? Any scandalous things happening? Don't keep it too naughty in the chat, but I'm always curious and interested to hear how things went down. Jester, I said this before and I'll continue to say this. I really do truly enjoy your film watching journey because you are getting a chance to watch a lot of new movies for the first time, and I'm kind of envious, to be honest with you. So Jester, what is this new movie that you've seen for the first time? Scorch saying Jake Paul, Howard Stern, Mike David, and of Red Bar, all disruptors are Capricorn. Well, that is pretty true. Howard Stern, I am a huge fan of, or at least was. Jake Paul, not so much. Can't stand the Pauls at all. But yeah, a lot of, let's see. I share my birthday with the late, great Betty White, Michelle Obama, James Earl Jones. Those are some of the notables that share my exact birthday. But yeah, I've always been very, very happy of having the same birthday month as Howard Stern, because he was always someone I not idolized, but I definitely listened to him on a daily basis back in the day. And I think a lot of what I do now is because of influence from him. So Scorch saying it did half a paper of acid. Is that right? Wow. How did that feel? Honestly, I got a call from the head of the department. He said he wants me at any time and wants to hire me. Only it takes some time until the big bosses from above give the approval. And it's a very big company. It's always such a political thing. That's usually how it is in the world, especially in corporate America. But that's good stuff, though. That's actually definitely good stuff. Jester saying I watched Inglorious Bastards for the first time. Also, the last movie I watched in 2024. I have to say it is Tarantino's second best film next to Django. Very, very interesting take there. So, Inglorious Bastards is definitely one of those great Tarantino films that I love how he kind of plays with history. He kind of does his own take on history and things how I guess in his point of view how things should have went down. He did very much the same thing with Django, especially with that time period and all that. Both are great, fantastic movies, and I would say that both of them definitely rank in like my top five. I still think to this day, my most favorite Tarantino film is Jackie Brown. You know, there's just something about the black exploitation homage to it, and I just love how the movie was put together. I love the performances in it. Maybe it just shows that I am more akin to that kind of generation of storytelling and movie making. But I still think, and Jackie Brown, I think, is highly underrated. So I really, really think that is like my top Tarantino film. And then, of course, I would put in Kill Bill Volume 1, because, again, a lot of homage to great Asian kung fu cinema, Japanese cinema in there. Pulp Fiction will always be forever in my heart because that opened my eyes to a new realm of movie making. So it's just amazing stuff altogether. And definitely, yeah, like I said, Inglorious Bastards and Django really go in there as well. Scorch saying it feels fine, very very treepy. What the hell am I saying? Very trippy, even small doses kind of crazy. Especially when you combine it with lots of weed and alcohol. Well, there you go. Well, Scorch, I am so happy you enjoyed your New Year's. It sounded like you had a blast. You know, when you spend time with family like I do, I don't have much of an opportunity to indulge in such craziness like that. You know, but when I did come back home, I made sure to partake in a little of that good old CBD love and everything. Arnold saying, now with the holidays, it was of course a bit difficult, but I think I'll get a call now these days. Well, again, fingers crossed. I hope you do. Jester saying, I haven't seen Jackie Brown yet, so I'll see it for the first time soon. You know, I'll be looking forward to hearing your thoughts on that. Arnold said, would be very cool. My best friend works there, and it's my dream job. Well, that's awesome. Arnold, I don't think you even told us what kind of job it is. If you want to share, let us know. Jester, I haven't seen Jackie Brown or Kill Bill. Oh, man. Especially when it comes to Kill Bill, I can't wait for your reaction to that. Scorch saying Jackie Brown is underrated gem. Scorch shares my same thoughts on that as well. Love Death Proof. Death Proof is also great too. I love Death Proof. Again, a great throwback to like those grindhouse, crazy exploitation horror type films. I think that is also an underrated thing that Tarantino did. I always feel like it gets overlooked because it was like a twofer, and it was in a weird time of like his career too. So I feel like that often gets overlooked. Kevin Davis saying theaters chains isn't going to turn down any Disney film in theaters, no matter what the critics or anti-Disney say. Theater chains will go where the money is, and from what they saw last year, to many of our surprises, Disney still pulls in good audiences. You know, whether you think the movie sucks or not. Moana 2, terrible movie. Mufasa, not so great, but yet there seemed to be like one of the biggest performers during the holidays. So you can never count out Disney. You know, they find their ways, especially when they stick to the traditional formula of what works for them and they try not to go too much out of the box of it. You're going to see great results from it. And it's funny too, because my friends with kids, they all said the same thing. Kids didn't really like Moana 2. Mufasa was boring for them. Blah blah blah. This and that. But hey, you know, people, they showed up, and like we'll see in a bit. Box office, when the wallets speak, people pay attention, and Disney, I'm sure right now is very very thrilled and happy with how everything turned out. So, good all coffee. That's one thing that will never change every year. I'm always going to enjoy my cup of joe, my coffee there. So, I had a chance to basically catch up a little bit on some shows and all. Still watching, before I get into the big topics of like box office and anticipated movies and all that. I'm still watching Skeleton Crew. The last 2 episodes were okay, but I would say that the latest episode, directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, is probably the best episode of the series so far. It had a lot of heart, it had a lot of connection, great focus on the character KB. It definitely gives me more respect to Lobot from Empire Strikes Back. And I love the intrigue that they're kind of keeping secret about why she turned the way she turned into, how she became kind of like a mechanical android and all that. But a really, really great sequence there between the 2 kids and the main boy becoming the hero and saving her life and all that. So again, Bryce Dallas Howard knows how to direct. And when you have a veteran director like her in a show like this, you can tell the differences of directing and storytelling. And you could see her touch with it too. Every time she did something for The Mandalorian or even Ahsoka, I believe she directed an episode of Ahsoka, right? She does extremely well with that stuff. So I will say, like, the last episode definitely was one of the better episodes of the series. I'm still enjoying it. Again, I'm watching it through the lens of like a 12-year-old, an 8-year-old. I'm letting my inner child enjoy this series for what it is, because I'm sure if I was that age, I would be all over this show. Because it's just a lot. It's very charming. It's very cute for kids. Again, the older generation probably can't stand it. But I am still enjoying it for what it's worth. Let's see. Scorch saying, I love everything he's done, been involved in. True Romance, another great one. 4 Rooms, that one Woody Harrelson, Bonnie and Clyde type. Natural Born Killers, I think you're thinking about. I think I watched that movie too young of an age to really fully understand it. I think I need to rewatch it now at my age now. I'm pretty sure I would probably take a lot of things away from it differently than I did when I saw it when I was younger. Arnold says, I would work as a technician for the Netto company. My task is to receive and program and repair the computer printers in the main center. The printers from all over Germany are in charge. That's awesome, man. So it sounds more of like an engineering job or a technician job. So that's pretty awesome, man. Again, fingers crossed. I really hope you do get it. Scorch saying the one where Selma Hayek strip. Oh, you're thinking about From Dusk Till Dawn. That is a great collaboration between Robert Rodriguez and Tarantino there. Tarantino also being an actor in the film too. That is a great one. I've seen all the stuff he's done except for one episode of CSI. Oh, I haven't even seen that myself. Dan bro, how was Ahsoka? I thought Ahsoka was good. I mean, if you're a fan of Rebels, if you're a fan of the Clone Wars, if you're a fan of those characters, and this was like a reunion for all that stuff. I liked it. I thought it was okay. I wouldn't say it's one of the best Star Wars things that we've got in a while, but it definitely was something. Let's see. Oh, I hear a fart.
LOWKEY Geek Army Red Heart Biceps. All like and subscribe.
Arnold, you are amazing. Arnold with the €5 super chat. Thank you so much. Dude, you don't know how much that means to me. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Always appreciate your support, dude. And the kind words. Is that what we're calling us? The LOWKEY Geek Army? I kind of like it. So yeah, again, Arnold, thank you so much. You don't know how much that means to me. I really, really, really appreciate you. You're definitely one of the OGs of the community. Here's my watch list for the next few weeks. Arnold also with a gifted membership going to, let's see who gets it. Paula Fitzhenry. Who the hell is Paula Fitzhenry? Paula?
I'm gonna come.
There you go. I hope that made you.
You blew it!
And another gifted membership from Arnold, this time going to Caleb Richardson. We haven't seen Caleb on the live streams in a while. I hope he's doing well. But if you happen to be watching at any time and you see this, please make sure to thank Arnold for your gifted subscription. Memberships are going to have a lot of different meaning in the new year as I start thinking about ways to enjoy stuff with the community. Memberships will get you access when it's all fixed and done. Special access to certain rooms of the Discord where we will be enjoying monthly watch-alongs. You know, we'll have a bad movie night. We'll have like a regular watch-along. Maybe special curated film festivals that happen all month long. Members will be able to enjoy that in the new year. So again, once I have more time to, clean up the Discord, set it all up properly, we're going to be doing a lot of that stuff there on the Discord. So make sure to keep an eye out on that. But Arnold, you're going nuts. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you so much, and the community also appreciates you as well. I'm so happy to have you as part of this great group here. Scorched laughing. I hope that made you you know it.
Wow.
It really did. It really did. Let's see. Sorry, Jester. So, going back to your comment, watch this for the next few weeks. Blowout, The Black Phone, Jackie Brown, Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, Death Proof, Interstellar, Inception, and Whiplash. All right. Guys, how excited are we for Jester? Because he's about to go on an amazing journey of cinema in the next couple of weeks or month, or how long it takes you to watch all this stuff. With Jackie Brown, Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, two in the years, Volume 2 definitely has grown on me more. But also Interstellar, Inception, and Whiplash for the first time. Dude, some of these movies are probably in my all-time top 50. Especially when you come to Christopher Nolan. Interstellar still remains my favorite Christopher Nolan film. Inception is not that far behind it. Whiplash was an amazing film. Great performances there. So, I'm so excited to hear your reactions with these movies when you get a chance to watch them. Scorch saying, I'm such a pathetic Star Wars fan. I have Darth Maul half sleeve, but haven't seen half the Disney Plus stuff. Well, to be honest with you, you're not missing too much. I will say, and I've mentioned this on the previous stream before, I am very disappointed with Lucasfilm and Disney and their handling of the Star Wars property. It has been a shit show, and you can really tell they have no clue what they're doing there. They seem to be just throwing darts on a wall and seeing what sticks. There's no real planning. Everything is all over the place. It's bizarre with such a popular franchise as Star Wars, how two companies can't seem to figure it out. So I'm hoping in the next couple of years, maybe we'll see it happening with Marvel, because 2025 is the return of the comic book superhero movies, whether you like it or not. And this year will really show if Marvel's kind of break and restructuring is really going to work and pan out. Because if not, DC is chomping at the bit. It's grabbing that heel and saying, watch out, suckers, because we're coming for you. And they have a chance to take over, right? So hopefully if things get turned around, then they could take cues from that and do something with the Star Wars franchise. Because right now, I'll be honest, even though I enjoyed some of the stuff I saw, but most of it is very mediocre. It's not anything that I would say you have to go rush and watch this now. With the exception of Andor and that's it basically. I think it was, it's unfortunate to see what they're doing on Disney Plus. Visions is still good. The Jedi's tales, you know, like the short snippets, those have been really good. But other than that, there hasn't been much to be rooting for as far as Star Wars is concerned. So even Skeleton Crew, I mean, it's a cute, charming, you know, series, but for young kids. And even that, I can't like say you have to watch this now. It's just not. It's not something I can do. So you're not missing much. I'm sure in time you'll watch these things, but it's not anything that you know you have to go rush out for. Arnold saying, "I'm the New Year Santa." You sure are, buddy. And he's seen Nosferatu. I have too. I have also seen Nosferatu. Now you're giving it a 1 out of 5. So I'm curious as to why you're so critical about it, which is perfectly fine. I adored that movie. I love anything Robert Eggers has done. It has his style. Some of the best cinematography of 2024 in film. I mean, the look of it, the gothic kind of feel for it. The Lily Rose Depp's performance I thought was fantastic. I've never seen her do anything before, and I thought this was a great first thing I've seen her do, with the way she contorts her body and just the amount of stress that she probably went through in doing a lot of her scenes. You know, freaking Skarsgård was unrecognizable, and I think he's at his best when he's not recognizable. You know, we've seen him do it with Pennywise in It. You know, and now with this, really, really great stuff all around. It's definitely not going to be a movie for everybody. It's horny at times, which I think any Dracula-like movie should be. I feel like this takes a lot of cues from the Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula mixed in with his own stuff. Like I feel like I see a lot of witch in there, a little Northman stuff in there. Like it's definitely a perfect resume piece of Robert Eggers' filmmaking. But I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars all around. So I still have yet to do a review on the channel for it, and I plan to do one pretty soon. Especially this month, you're going to be seeing a lot of recaps from me. So be ready. And on a separate video, I'm going to recap my highest rated films of 2024 and my top 12 favorite films of the year. So I will be doing a video for that on the channel. Jester saying, oh, also I got the Indiana Jones video game and it's phenomenal. I'm glad you're enjoying that, Jester. Last night I was playing it for several hours. I am pretty far into it. I'm at the point now where I'm going back and revisiting areas because I don't want to quite finish the game yet. I want to kind of do all the other side stuff because it's fun. It's just fun. You know, this is what I've been wanting for an Indiana Jones game in a long time. And even though we were kind of given filler with the Tomb Raider stuff, this is really the true exploration, adventure, tomb raiding type of game that I've been wanting for a very long time. So I'm glad you enjoyed it because I'm enjoying the hell out of it. PDQ Visions is great, but adds nothing since it's not canon, but still fun to watch. Yeah, and that's the thing. At least in that part, it's still fun because it still has a hint of Star Wars in it. Now, I just started watching What If Season 3. And after 3 episodes or 2 episodes, I feel very bored. And a lot of this stuff is not canon as well. But sometimes you never know. Like maybe later on down the line, they may do something canon-wise with it. But I'm finding a lot of these stories very boring and very bland, you know. And I wasn't feeling that way with any of the Vision stuff, you know. And I'm not saying Visions is like a what if, but it kind of shows you how you take the idea of a property and make it your own, you know. And with What If, there's so many great opportunities there to put spins on storylines and spins on things that we are already exposed to. But I feel like they haven't done a lot of that in the 3rd season. Now, I heard, you know, from other people that season 3 picks up at the end. But also keep in mind, this is the last season of What If we're getting. So I feel like it's a missed opportunity all around. But we'll see. I haven't really completed the whole season yet. We'll see what happens. But so far, it's been very bland and mediocre at best for me. Arnold saying, sorry, not 1 out of 5. For me, it was 3 out of 5. Oh, he had a little mistake there. I celebrated everything in itself, but I didn't like the design of Nosferatu. Yeah, they do. Well, it's definitely different. They made him more monster-like, right? Not like your typical vampire who's very suave and debonair, and you know, you could see that this person has a kind of charm to kind of will the females and be like, oh, come with me and we go to the bedroom and I'll suck you off. You know, it's you could understand why women will fall for someone like that. Here it's just disgusting, decayed old monster. That harkens back to the original Nosferatu film from what the black and white days, right? It's just like gangly, gnarly looking creature, very, very monster like. So this was definitely more of an homage to that. And then you wonder, like, well, how can someone like this woman fall for someone? Well, it's all about the magic. It's all about the charm. It doesn't matter because I got a spell on you, Mina, Mina. Her name wasn't Mina, but I just love that in Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula. Yeah, that's one of the things you hear all the time. Mina, Mina, take me, oh, take me. You know that movie? If you haven't seen it yet, Jester, I don't know if you ever seen Dracula, Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula. It's not a fantastic movie, but there are bits in there that will stick with you for years and years to come. I'm telling you that. And if anything, I appreciate that movie for a lot of the cinematography and things that he did in the scene of certain moments in the film, you know, which stand out even today. But some of the worst dialogue ever, some of the worst accents ever. Casting was not his strong suit when it comes to Dracula. Jester saying, speaking of New Year's, what's your New Year's resolution? I don't do resolutions, Jester. I feel like, you know, doing a resolution is a formula for failure. Because I do not know one single person in all of my life that made any New Year's resolutions and stuck to them throughout the whole year. Not one. Maybe it's because I surround myself with a bunch of cynics. You know, maybe I surround myself with a bunch of quitters. You know, but even myself, like, it's not something that I could ever stick to. So instead of doing a resolution, I just try to set goals for myself. You know, like, for example, professional wise, my goal for the channel is I want to hit 30,000 subscribers this year. I'm already at 16,000, which was a big surprise to me. I thought I was going to end the year last year at 10,000. And it grew even more than that. And the reason why my goal is 30,000 is because I feel like that is the level where my film critic goal of turning into one can be realized a little bit easier. Because, for example, I can apply, even though I don't really truly respect the platform, but a lot of people do, I can apply to be a Rotten Tomato certified critic. But in order to do that, you need 30,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel. So if I could show that, that can open the door more to me to, you know, being able to see movies more earlier, being invited to like festivals or screenings. And that's a great way for me to like really get more into the film critic side of things. And I don't like calling myself a film critic. I feel like I'm more of a pundit, more of a, you know, commentator. But that is a goal of mine for this year, you know. And this year already, it's looking to be very busy. You know, I'm still helping my friend with his comic book, you know, business, and I'll be going to a lot of comic book conventions this year. Hopefully, I'll have a chance to document all of that stuff with you guys, so you could see my journey and everything. Going back to Japan in April, haven't been there in like over 5 years, 4 years, or whatever the case is now. So, you know, I'm covering Star Wars Celebration over there, but at the same time, I'm thinking, since I haven't been back in a while, What if I revisited a lot of my favorite spots that maybe I haven't been to since maybe my first trip ever, which was like more than 12, 13 years ago, and kind of revisit those spots and document them for you guys. Because, when I was going to Japan, this was before YouTube, before people were always vlogging about things. And I saw a lot of stuff that, nowadays you see people talking about it in their Instagrams and all that, but I was there like 10 plus years ago. So I definitely had a different perspective on things, So, hopefully I get to document a lot of that stuff when I'm there this time. And then who knows? You never know what the year brings, right? So you have to be open for changes and challenges along the way too. So, at least, like I said, professionally, those are my goals. Personally, my main goal is to not be so procrastinating. I need to get rid of my procrastination nature. I picked that all up from my mom, who loves procrastinating all the time. I need to be less of a procrastinator, more of a on-time doer. If I need to do something now, do it now, instead of saying, I'll do it tomorrow. You know what? I'll do it next week, because that never, ever happens. It's just another excuse to prolong it. So I'm going to try my best to not, be so much of a procrastinator. That's a big change for me. Because if you've been something like that most of your life, it's hard to change that. But I'm going to at least make myself more aware, more conscious of it, and try to do better in that aspect. So those are just some of the things I was thinking about. Arnold saying, I'm a big Lion King fan, but the new movie didn't really excite me. Didn't think I'll say that, but if I hadn't watched it, I wouldn't have missed anything. Well, you and I feel the very same way. I feel like the only thing that they improved from the last one is that they gave the animals emotions on their faces. But other than that, it was an unnecessary story to tell, in my opinion. So I totally agree with you there. Arnold saying, you liar, you just want girls and money. No, I'm joking. I wish you 1 million sub at the end of the year. Oh my God, could you imagine? Thank you for that. And it is true. I also wouldn't mind, getting into a relationship, getting a lot of money. Of course. Who wouldn't, right? Or if you are female, having a relationship with a guy. Or if, same-sex thing is your thing, I'm not here to judge. Do your thing. Be happy. I think at the end of the day, just want to be happy. And I think we all deserve to be happier this year, especially with all the crazy stuff that happened in the last year. Jester saying, my New Year's resolution is to finish my script for the film I'm writing. That's awesome. That is a great resolution. That's a great goal for this year. So I hope you keep us posted with your journey along the way. Jester, I know you've shared some of your thoughts with me privately. And I'm excited for you. I'm truly excited for you, and I'm excited for people to see what you can do. So let's definitely wish Jester a great year in making sure that he can accomplish that goal. And yeah, let us know the kind of movie if you're ready to share that with all of us. So great stuff, guys. Again, 2025. It's just the beginning. We're only 6 days in. Anything can happen. But hopefully we'll be in it together in this journey and all that. Of course, on the channel, like I said, hopefully when things calm down on the personal side of things, I'll get to do another stream. I know Fridays has been a big request, so hopefully I could do that on Friday, so on and so forth. So, again, here's to 2025. This is not alcohol. This is coffee, but regardless, I need it. By the way, is anyone excited for WWE Raw coming to Netflix tonight? I'm excited because my fandom for wrestling has grown in the last couple of years. And I'm not saying that I've watched every show every week. I haven't. I do watch all the pay-per-views, and I do watch a lot of the highlights and clips. I think it's exciting because this is the first time that the WWE will be on a global available platform, and people are going to be watching wrestling for the very first time. People who haven't watched wrestling in years are probably going to check it out of curiosity. There are going to be so many more eyes on wrestling than than it's ever been in the last couple of years. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I'm also very curious to see how Netflix is going to handle it with the crazy mess that was the Tyson Paul fight and how they couldn't figure out their streaming during that event. This is going to be a weekly occurrence, and you're going to have so many people watching. I don't know how they're going to handle it. I don't know if there are going to be any hiccups like what we saw with the Tyson Paul fight, but it's going to be very, very interesting to see what's going to happen. So I'll be tuning in tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time to see what's going to happen, and I might do a review about it. So we'll see. But I'm not going to talk about wrestling every week. I just don't think there's enough people who will be interested in that, to be honest. Arnold saying, I love WWE. I've been watching since I'm 3, but Netflix doesn't do it in Germany. Oh, they haven't. So it's not internationally, huh? Well, that's a shame. If you use a VPN, you could probably VPN into the United States and watch it on Netflix. That's a nice workaround there. I no longer have an affiliate with any VPN or anything like that, but that's sometimes how I get around certain geo restrictions and all. But I'm excited. We'll see what happens and all that. But I think now is a good time. Let me go into the main topics of the day. Of course, starting off with the box office breakdown from this past weekend and from the holidays. We're going to go into those numbers right now so that Kevin Davis can be excited and talking about Sonic 3 all over again. Kevin, I hope you're still here because I love talking stats with you. So let's see what's going on. I'm going to share my browser with all of you. As usual, I'm on thenumbers.com where I get all of this great fun info and data and numbers. Coming in at number 1 this past weekend, again, huge surprise. And we're going to go through this journey of Mufasa, the Lion King. Because if you recall, the last stream I did, Sonic 3 beat Mufasa at the box office during its opening weekend. They both opened the same weekend, and Sonic 3 beat Mufasa tremendously. And we'll look at it right now. Like, we'll go back and we'll go to the weekend of the 20th. And you see Sonic the Hedgehog did, what, $25 million more business domestically than Mufasa did, right? Beating it at the top spot, right? Fast forward to this past weekend, Mufasa, it just inched out Sonic 3 for the weekend box office, pulling in $23.4 million over the weekend. Domestically, it's at 168.2 right now. Now, check this out. Internationally, it's done $307.8 million, bringing its worldwide box office total to close to $500 million, $476 million. Can you believe that? For a mediocre at best movie, the international audience is just eating this up, eating. They're feasting. They love The Lion King. They love Mufasa, and you can see it all here, which is crazy because I would have never have guessed this to happen ever. But then you have Sonic 3 in second place, 21.3 million over the weekend domestically, 187.6 overall domestically, 148.7 internationally for worldwide 336.4. Now, going back to what Kevin was saying, even before the stream started, he's predicting that the global box office total run will be 450 to 500. I personally think at this point that is going to be hard to do. I think this will end its box office run at 380 million. Because like a lot of other studios, and we already saw this with Universal and Wicked, Paramount's going to say, we want to release this on demand as fast as possible. No pun intended. We're talking about Sonic here. But still, they're going to rush to put this on demand very soon. And then they want to release it on Paramount Plus as soon as possible because they know it's going to drive subscribers to it if they're not subscribed already, right? People love this film. Kids love this film. People, from what I heard, my friends with kids, preferred this over Mufasa, over Moana 2. So they're going to try to get as much dollars as they can from the people at home. And I think they're going to rush that very soon. So I don't think this is going to be able to even break 400 million worldwide, in my opinion. Mufasa, on the other hand, I have a feeling this will break 500 in the next couple of weeks. Why? We don't have anything coming out that's worth noting. Yeah, we have Wolfman coming out, very small movies here and there. But January is pretty dry. You know, the big stuff is going to start happening in February. So I think Mufasa will break 500, maybe end its theatrical run at 550. You know, but knowing Disney, and if they follow suit with what they did with Deadpool and Wolverine and Inside Out 2, they're going to keep this out in theaters for at least 6 months. So it has potential to do even more than that until they finally release it on demand. So I feel like that's the strategy there, and that's what we're going to see. Going back to the chat here, Arnold saying, I know a site, I won't mention it here for reasons. I can watch all the movies, all the series that ever existed on English. It's fantastic. All the new movies I could see. Do what you got to do. I'm not going to condone or agree with certain methods and all that, you know, but we all have our ways to do what we got to do. And I'm glad you can. So that's great. And now I'm looking at Ben 10 from the beginning, which is awesome. I was thinking of rewatching an old show recently. Oh, Lost. I've been dying to watch Lost again. It has been such a long time. It's on my list of things I want to rewatch this year, but I still have so much TV to catch up, you know, especially since this year we're going to be seeing Stranger Things, the final season coming out, Daredevil's coming out. So I feel like I'd rather rewatch the Netflix Daredevil series from the beginning and do a journey of that. And every year a new season of Stranger Things come out, I always rewatch the entire series from season 1 up until the whatever current season it is. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing that again this year. So a lot of stuff to watch. Arnold's asking a question. Can you explain this to me with box office? I don't quite understand it yet. What is the film has taken in total? What do you mean? So you mean after all is said and done? Like, you know, because the thing is, like, yeah, whenever we look at numbers, it's always gross numbers, right? So this is the initial take. But this doesn't account for what the studios has to pay the theater chains, the licensing, the marketing dollars. That doesn't include all that. Plus, you also have to look at the budget, how much they spent on each movie, plus their marketing budgets and all. So we don't really understand what the true net intake is, which is after all of that has been wiped away. But I would probably say you would have to look at maybe at least nixing 40% off of what the numbers we are seeing here. And I might be even being like very low on that percent right there. That's why most of the time when you see numbers like this and you look at the domestic gross, the worldwide gross, when you compare it to the budget, most movies have to do double of what their budget is to be profitable. And, you know, you could see a lot of movies don't accomplish that, you know, but then when you do, that's why you get green lights on sequels and spin-offs and blah, 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 this and that, you know. So that when you look at these numbers, you have to kind of keep that in mind. But, you know, unfortunately, we don't always get to know what those net numbers are at the end of the day, because most studios don't report on that unless you're like a board member and you go through their fiscal calls every quarter and listen in on all that stuff. Arnold saying, oh, now I understand things. I was thinking that is Neto or Netto, the company that you're looking at and hoping to work for. Again, fingers crossed on that. So coming back here, Nosferatu, as we were talking about before, landed in third place. 13 million over the past weekend, 69.2 million so far domestically. International 31 with a worldwide total of $100.3 million. I think this is pretty good for a Robert Eggers film. I believe The Northman, which was his last movie, the budget for that was $70 million. And I don't remember what the final box office tally was for The Northman. I don't think it came close to that, or it barely hit that. I don't know what the budget is for Nosferatu. I would say it's probably along the same lines. Let's see, Nosferatu budget 50 million. So even less than The Northman. So I think, as you could see, like I said before, do double of what your movie budget is, and you're in good hands. And as you could see, I think this movie is in good hands right now. I also have a strong feeling that this will do more business once it's available on demand and once it's available for streaming. I do strongly feel that way. This is the kind of movie that lends itself to that. Not, no, I mean, that was, I think, net. Sorry. Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. I think I understood what you meant from there. So it's all good, Arnold. All good in the hood. Coming in fourth place, we have Moana 2, still doing good business for Disney. $12.4 million this past weekend. 425.2 domestically so far, with 535.3. Look at this. It's going to hit $1 billion, guys. It's really going to hit $1 billion, this movie. A movie that's terrible. Because the worldwide is 960.5. What the hell? That is nuts. This is, again, one of the big shockers of 2024 that Moana 2 did this much business. But again, Bob Iger was right. Bob Iger is right. Guess who's in the house? Happy New Year to Star-Lord. Am I live? Is Loki live? I'm live, buddy. I'm live. I'm alive. And I'm live with you right now. So welcome to the stream. As always, great seeing you. Happy New Year to you. I hope you enjoyed the end of your year. You did everything you wanted to do, and maybe even more. And I hope 2025 is a great start for you so far. So always a pleasure seeing you, Star-Lord, here in the chat. Arnold saying, do you think Lilo and Stitch will make it to the #1 with over 350 million? I think Lilo and Stitch has a good chance at that. Again, you have to think of the audience that watched Lilo and Stitch back in the day. For at least a year or two, we heard nothing about Lilo and Stitch. I mean, we heard nothing but Lilo and Stitch. The songs, the merchandise. If you went to any Disney amusement park, Lilo and Stitch, Lilo and Stitch, Lilo and Stitch. Huge, huge love for that. It spawned off a cartoon series on Disney, on the Disney Channel. In Japan, it spawned off its own series for Japanese audiences only, because they love cutie weird creatures, right? It definitely has international appeal. And if they know how to nail it right, especially the live action with the CG mix, then I think Lilo and Stitch has a good shot at doing 350 million, maybe even more than that, if you look at the global intake and all. Star-Lord saying Happy New Year's to all, and to all a good 12 months. Here, here.
Yeah!
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. All right, let's continue here. So yeah, so Moana 2 continues to freaking blow the roof off the box office. Wicked came in 5th place, $9.9 million over the weekend, 450.5. These numbers are going to drop week to week now because Wicked is available on Premium on Demand. And you just know everyone is watching Wicked at home right now. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. All the music nerds, all the musical theater nerds, the theater kids are dying. They're having their watch-alongs, their sing-alongs. You know, during the holidays, you know, I had some family members that couldn't stop doing the high-pitched voicing because they think it's funny. Shut up! Not everyone can sing. Stop it. But anyway, international 230, it picked up. It picked up from the last time I saw this, bringing its worldwide box office total to 680.5 million. This is truly a bona fide hit for Universal, for John Chu. Wicked 2 is a most anticipated movie for this year for a lot of people. So very good stuff there. Coming in 6th is A Complete Unknown, another movie I saw during the holidays. Fantastic film. Timothy Chalamet, for all of you people online who keep saying that he's not a good actor, This movie may change your mind, may do it, because I thought this was a brilliant film. $8.1 million over the weekend, 41.8 so far. It has not released internationally yet, so that is something interesting to see. But another thing to note too, no talks about A Complete Unknown or Timothy Chalamet at all, really, during the Golden Globes and all that. I think it's because it came a little late, but he may be also tied into Dune 2. So with Dune 2 and A Complete Unknown coming out last year, I have a feeling the push for him may be more on the Dune 2 side of things. But A Complete Unknown is a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. On Letterboxd. I'm joking. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Timothy Chalamet. Coming in 7th is Baby Girl, Nicole Kidman's A24 movie, which I haven't seen yet. I'm hoping to watch it this week. 4.4 million domestically over the weekend, 16.1 million so far. This is not a type of movie that's expected to do a lot of business. Probably will have longer legs once it hits on demand. Gladiator 2 still doing well at the box office, 2.6 million over the weekend, 168.8 million domestically. I think, worldwide, it's still doing really well. Still has a shot at hitting $500 million, but I think it's starting to die out quite a bit. A movie called Homestead, Angel Studios, another faith-based film, $2 million over the weekend, 17.3 million domestically so far. Rounding out the top 10, we have The Fire Inside. That's that Amazon Studios movie about the female Olympic boxer. $1.1 million, $7 million so far domestically. This is not a movie that's expected to do a lot. I haven't seen it yet, but I am very curious about it. I've been hearing nothing but good things on it, so I can't wait to see it. Some notable things to look out for. No, it's not Kraven the Hunter, because that movie continues to bomb. 23.6 million so far domestically. 58.6 worldwide. What a hot mess of a movie that is. But 7. We keep seeing this happening with a lot of these re-releases, especially in IMAX form. 7 was re-released for in IMAX, in select IMAX theaters, and it did on $915,000 in business for 200 screens. That's not terrible at all. That's actually very good. So keep an eye out, because this year we're going to be seeing a lot more of these anniversary re-releases, because the studios are seeing that these films do extremely well when they are re-released in theaters. Plus, it gives an incentive for people to go back to the theater to watch a beloved film of theirs, or maybe they never had a chance to see it on the big screen for the first time at all. So 7 is proving that to be another point now. This year, I'm going to be keeping an eye out on a lot of these re-releases, and we're going to see how well they do perform, because they have been surprisingly performing well at the box office every time they do something like that. So there you go. So there's your weekend, this past weekend. This upcoming week, we don't have a lot of big movies coming out. I don't think we have any really well mentioning at all. So we may see a repeat of this lineup again after this coming weekend. We'll see. But let's, again, look at the journey of Mufasa throughout the holidays and all that. Because as you can see, on Christmas Eve, right? Christmas Eve, you still had Sonic 3 beating Mufasa, but just barely, right? It did 7.4 million on Christmas Eve. Mufasa did 7.1. Wicked, 3.2. Moana, 3. Now, Nosferatu didn't do that thing where it releases the day before. So there was no kind of Christmas release of Nosferatu at all. Nosferatu really just released on Christmas Day. That's it. Right? So that's why you don't see it on this list right now. Now, my prediction before the holiday break was when it was all said and done, the weekend was going to be Sonic 3, Nosferatu, Mufasa, and then Wicked. But boy, was I wrong. Because if you go on Christmas Day, bam. This is where we saw the switch happen. Mufasa claimed the top spot on Christmas Day, 14.7 million domestically, right? Nosferatu came in second, So I was right about that. $11.5 million on Christmas Day. Sonic fell to third, 10.3. And A Complete Unknown and Wicked and Moana followed behind all that, right? Then you go into the Thursday after Christmas. Bam, once again. Mufasa, 12 million. Sonic took over Nosferatu, 11.5. Again, family-friendly movies will always do extremely well during the holidays. 11.5, Nosferatu, 7.6. Wicked, Moana 2, Complete Unknown, right? Then look at the weekend, the 3-day weekend, the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. When it's all tallied up, right? You did have Sonic coming back again. 37, Mufasa, 36.8. Nosferatu was in third, 21.6. Wicked, Moana 2, 1918, Complete Unknown, and all that. But if you were to add everything all up together, Mufasa won the Christmas 5-day weekend. Just blew it out of the park. If you add up all the tally, all the numbers and all that. And why that is, it's Disney. You know, when you have families off from work, kids off from school, they want to watch something in the movies. They probably already saw Sonic 3, but everyone wanted to see Mufasa. Why? Because Lion King is still a beloved franchise under Disney. Now, I don't think word of mouth helped it at all, you know, because, you know, if people listened to me, they would have learned that Mufasa is not that great of a movie. But there are some people who liked it. You know, it has decent scores here and there. I thought it was just shallow and unnecessary of a story. Repeated a lot of similar beats, kind of typical tropes that you see. The over explanation of things, how things happen. Scar, how he got his name, how Pride Rock was formed, blah, blah, blah. The friendship with him and Rafiki. Like everything was just over explained. Very unnecessarily so. But kids and families ate it all up. And that's why we see Mufasa with what we see now, claiming the top spot through the holidays, the weekend after the holidays, and this past weekend, which is bananas. Bananas. You know, so there it is. You have it for what it's worth. And, you know, Bob Iger and Disney, they know how to draw people to the theaters. Beloved franchises, whether it's mediocre or not, people are going to go and watch it because kids want to see it. Kids are curious about it. You know, maybe you could thank a lot of the marketing that they did for these movies. You know, Moana 2 still is one of those outstanding performances that I've ever seen. I was not expecting that one bit, especially after I saw it, you know, but you'll be surprised, you know, and that's one of the cool things about looking at about what general audiences will feel about certain things, because you never know. They do always surprise us every year. So that's how the Lion King, good old Mufasa, got to where it got, and why it's king at the box office for now, which is great to see. Great to see for the fans. Great to see for Disney. Even though I'm not, you know, cheering and hooting and hollering for corporate, you know, companies. Yeah, good for you guys. You're making tons of money. But it's good for the movie theater business, because this just shows you that people are going out to theaters and supporting movies. And I feel like we definitely had a strong year last year. It's going to get stronger this year. They're predicting that 2025 will close out on $9 billion domestically at the box office, which would be phenomenal because we haven't achieved that in years. So we'll see. We'll see. And there are movies coming out this year that will help with that. 1000%. Avatar, people. We are getting an Avatar movie at the end of this year. We all know what the Avatar movies do. You never rule out Cameron. We'll see come the end of the year. Arnold is saying, let's see, thanking Star-Lord. Jester saying, as Gen Z, I love Lilo and Stitch. See, there you go. So, and I feel like a lot of that generation will truly go out and support that movie. Arnold saying, I'm looking at my Star Wars t-shirt that I sent you. Surprised how many new names I see. If you don't know what he's talking about, Arnold got this really cool Star Wars periodic table shirt. And it just shows you like who's connected to who and who's around and all that. It's a very funny shirt. Really, really funny stuff. It's really fun to see. All right, let's now look at the box office recap of 2024. What came out on top? Where the year ended out. I don't have the full tally of how much money was pulled in total, domestically and all. I'm sure you're going to hear a lot of people reporting that once all the final numbers are all said and done, all the final receipts are counted and all. But as of right now, these are the top performing movies at the domestic box office. And you could see it's mostly Disney with 3 at the top 5, right? So you have Inside Out 2 claiming the number 1 spot domestically with $652.9 million, followed by Deadpool and Wolverine, $636.7 million. Now, my prediction last year was Deadpool and Wolverine was going to be the number 1 movie earner of the year. I don't think I ever expected, and I think a lot of other movie pundits, critics, and all that, we never thought Inside Out 2 will do the kind of business it did. And we were shocked when it just blew out the box office completely. The first movie to hit $1 billion last year. One of only 2 movies that did so. Deadpool and Wolverine being the second one. And we'll see those numbers when you look at the worldwide totals. But you have Deadpool and Wolverine in second. Wicked in third place, $450.7 million. Moana 2, $425.1 million. Fifth place is Despicable Me. Another thing to note here, too, is the top 5 movies are all kid-friendly family films. Inside Out 2, Wicked, Moana 2, Despicable Me 4. These are all family-friendly films. And it goes to show you that those kind of films still rule the roost when it comes to movie theater experiences. Then you have Beetlejuice, $294. Dune Part 2, $282.1. Twisters, $267. Godzilla x Kong, $196.3. And then rounding out the top 10, you have Kung Fu Panda 4. These are just all domestic box office totals. Now, when you look at the worldwide, you can see the $1 billion movies joining the $1 billion club. Inside Out 2, Deadpool and Wolverine. Despicable Me 4 almost made it. Almost made it at $969 million at the worldwide box office. Moana 2 has a shot still. It still has a shot, because I think whatever happens in this year may, will count for the 2024 total. But regardless of the fact, Moana 2 has a shot of still joining the $1 billion club. It just will do it probably in this year. Dune Part 2, $707. Wicked, $681.2. I thought Wicked, based off of what we were seeing before the holiday break, I thought Wicked was going to struggle to hit even 500 million worldwide. But it's nice to see the huge uptick internationally. I think the holidays had a lot to do with that. Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, $568. Kung Fu Panda 4, $547. A movie called YOLO, $479. It sounds like that's more of an international film because you see no domestic totals for that. And then rounding out the top 10, you have Mufasa, $476.4 million. So again, you have Disney, right? So very interesting to see. You have Venom: The Last Dance outside of the 11th place there overall. So these are the top performing movies of 2024 at the box office. Like I said, surprised about Inside Out 2. No idea that Moana 2 was going to do that much business. Really, really shocked by that. Dune 2, not surprised. Wicked, I was not surprised. I thought Wicked was going to do more, but still doing really well. And then Mufasa, again, you can't rule out Disney, I guess. You really can't. But diving into deeper stuff here, more interesting numbers. The biggest weekends of 2024, the biggest weekend of the year was the release of Deadpool and Wolverine. because that weekend box office tally was 211.4 million. You can't beat that, right? But look at the top 3 opening weekends of the year were all Disney. Inside Out 2, 154.2, and Moana 2 at 139.7. Crazy stuff. Then you had Wicked with a big opening weekend, Beetlejuice, Inside Out 2 claiming a second highest grossing weekend the weekend after its release with 101.2. That's when we knew that this movie was going to do crazy numbers because we weren't expecting that to happen. You know, I thought Inside Out 2 will do well, yeah, opening weekend, but trail. This one barely trailed at all, you know, which was crazy. We saw the same thing with Deadpool and Wolverine as well. Dune Part 2, Twisters, and Wicked. Biggest opening weekends, or just biggest performing weekends of 2024. Scroll down here, some other interesting things to note. Market share for each studio. Disney claims the number 1 spot once again after missing out last year in 2023 as far as box office grosses. I forgot who won it the year before. I believe it was Universal or Warner Brothers who claimed the top spot. But Disney is back on top, releasing 13 movies that all grossed $1.9 billion at the box office worldwide. Universal in second place, 31 movies, $1.7 billion, and Warner Brothers in the third spot with $1.1 billion. These studios, you'll always see these 3 at the top. You just never know what the order is going to be, but Disney definitely reclaimed the top spot. This year is going to be an interesting year because, like I said, we have big, major superhero comic book fair coming out. You know, with the release of the new Captain America movie, the Fantastic Four movie coming out, Thunderbolts. It's going to be interesting to see how well these movies perform for Disney this year. So something to really keep an eye out on. Something I always like to keep an eye on is A24 coming in 9th with $211 million. Good for them. The great little engine that could. Indie house du jour that I love. Big A24 fan there too. As far as genre, action was the number 1 genre that pulled in $2.5 billion. Adventure, 2.1. Comedy in 3rd. And musical in 4th, which is something that you need to keep an eye out on because the musicals are making a comeback. You know, with the success of Wicked, you know, with the success that we're seeing with Moana 2, which is technically a musical animated movie, these studios are going to try to take advantage of that and put out more of those type of genres out there. And horror is rounding out the top 5 there. So horror is definitely year after year getting bigger and bigger and bigger, especially with some of the films being better and better and better. So really good stuff there. As far as ratings, PG and PG-13s, you know, basically reign supreme, which is again not a big surprise because family-friendly movies, as we saw during the holidays, claim the top spots there. And then we have like other breakdowns here, live action with animation and kids fiction and all that stuff there. If you're interested in these type of numbers, I highly recommend going to thenumbers.com and looking at the annual charts, and you could see all of this stuff broken down for you. Really, really good, fun, interesting stuff. Now, you know, the questions that people always wonder or ask is like, how well do movies predict how other things will resonate with people, especially when it's adaptations, right? So like if a movie is based on a book comes out and does really well, does that mean the increased sales of the books will you'll see a big number like that, right? And we saw it when Fallout, the series, came out, and how a lot of people really loved that series, that it led to increased sales of the Fallout video games, right? Because Wicked has been such a huge success at the box office and in movies. It was a very interesting article to see when I saw this come out, that Wicked, the Broadway show that's still running on Broadway, had its highest grossing week in history during the holiday. Holiday week, the musical brought in $5 million in ticket sales. And you have the movie to hugely thank for that, you know, which is fantastic. Now, could this mean that Hollywood will pay more attention to these type of media or mediums and maybe do more adaptations of musicals, highest performing musicals? Are they looking to adapt more things? I think this just proves the case that if an adaptation is done right, people will always love to enjoy what the original source material is, whether it's a book, whether it's based off of a prequel movie or based off of a remake of an older movie. I think people will go out and support the original source material. In this case, I think a lot of people just got into that whole musical vibe of Wicked that they had to go out and watch the musical on Broadway, especially since it's still playing. And since Wicked, the movie, left you in a major cliffhanger, people wanted to see what happened for the rest of the story. And I think people are going to realize, wait a minute, there's not that much left of the story. What the hell's going to happen in Wicked 2? Well, I guess we'll see. Time will tell. But that is just basically the nice side effects of, really top performing movies and how it could really benefit such things as a Broadway show or a book that it was adapted from. So it was really, really interesting to see that happening. And again, I'm not surprised that that would be the case. I think it's just also perfect timing that one of the biggest things people love to do during the holidays, especially if they're visiting New York, is go watch a musical on Broadway or some sort of play. Why not go see Wicked? And it's nice to see, especially with Broadway suffering right now. You hear a lot of productions that will open and close within a week of its time or 2 weeks because ticket sales are just low. Because, let's be fair and honest, ticket prices are extremely expensive. It's nice to see that at least people were able to support a musical like Wicked on Broadway. And I'm pretty sure the touring companies, like if you're in a city that has like a touring company of Wicked around, I'm pretty sure they saw major sales of that show as well. So I won't be surprised to see if those numbers come through. Starlord saying, I'm trying to install a game. I'm having trouble with it. What game are you trying to install, Starlord? Arnold, is there a movie or series where you say that you don't want this series or movie to be reshot or expanded? That is a great question, Arnold. I think honestly, at this point, I am Back to the Future. I don't think Back to the Future needs to be touched ever again. We don't need any more sequels. We don't need any spin-offs. We don't need a reimagining or reboot of it. I think that movie series, the trilogy, stands perfect on its own, honestly. I also think we should stop with the Lord of the Rings because there's only so much more you can expand and do. I'm very, very cautious about the new stuff coming out with Peter Jackson producing the new anthology of films of Lord of the Rings, with the Gollum movie coming out directed by Andy Serkis. I'm very hesitant about that. Especially with the anime movie that just came out. Even though it was okay, it didn't do well at all. And I thought it was better for it to release like on a streaming service. I think we're at a time where Lord of the Rings needs to take a break, like a long, long break. Because between the Amazon series and whatever Peter Jackson's trying to do with who is it? Who controls it? Warner Brothers or Universal, whatever the case is. I think they need to stop, to be honest. Have you seen the movie for the trailer Better Man? It's a movie about the monkey that sings. It's based off of Robbie Williams, who is an actual performer, who was part of a boy band. He's trying to do that weird thing where he's trying to do a biopic about his life, but trying to do it in a weird and different, entertaining way. Very similar to what Piece by Piece, the Lego movie with Pharrell, which I thought was brilliant. I thought that was a surprisingly enjoyable movie to watch. Really, really great stuff to watch. So I don't know much about Robbie Williams. I'm not really a big fan. So that is a movie that I'm not interested in watching myself. I'm pretty damn sure that movie is going to do really well internationally, especially in the UK, because Robbie Williams is more of an international star and not so much here in the US. Jester saying, do you know what I want to see? A movie adaptation of Red Dead Redemption. That would make a pretty interesting movie or series. I personally, I think I would prefer a series because there's a lot to dive in there, especially with the main character. I won't say anything and spoil anything. I've only played the first game. I never played the second one. But I played the Red Dead Redemption all the way through, and I know what happens at the end. It'll be interesting to see that carry on, and then maybe you could continue on in the series and all that. So I think that would be really, really interesting. I was saying, isn't it the speech that the Game of Thrones will continue? Yes. Game of Thrones, they have just this year, we have another spin-off series coming out, Duncan and Egg, or Duncan Egg, whatever the case is. That's coming out this year. They're still working on the Jon Snow series and blah, 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 and all that. So Game of Thrones will, to R.R. Martin's displeasure, is still going to continue, even though he has no clue when he's going to ever finish his book and that series at all. Star saying, maybe you can help me. What do I do if my game is stuck in queue? Is it stuck installing or stuck downloading, Star-Lord? Let me know. PDQ said the Lord of the Rings anime was released for keeping the license. It wasn't meant to be good. Just keep it under them. You tell that to the animators. Tell that to Warner Brothers, because I think they were really expecting that movie to do well. I think they were really hoping and expecting that movie to bring in money when it really did it. I'm not going to doubt the reasoning behind making it. I mean, it's basically the same reason why Sony keeps making these bullshit Spider-Man spin-offs. But I think they were really hoping that this was going to reinvigorate the need and the want to see more Lord of the Rings stuff, especially when they still have that anthology of films coming out that they're working on. They're trying to, Warner Brothers is for lack of a better way to say it, they're desperate. They want a franchise. They don't have any right now. Dune is probably one of the only things they have at the moment. Harry Potter, nothing's happening there, but they're probably going to do the new series on Max that's coming out. So they need something that will bring money in. But other than that, they have no other franchise. So they're hoping to bring back the Lord of the Rings franchise because of what it did for them in the past. But again, people will speak with their wallets, and if they're not supporting it, then that's going to be a big blow to them, and they're going to waste a lot of money on it. So I would be happy about a second Ready Player One. They could do that based on the book Ready Player Two, which wasn't as good as the first book, but one of my favorite moments in Ready Player Two is this one chapter where he goes up against an army of princes. So basically, the singer or the artist formerly known as Prince, he goes up against an army of all the variations of Prince throughout his career. Some of the best writing in that book I ever read, and visually, I can just imagine how it all pans out. If we get a movie like that, I hope they can nail that part out, because could you imagine seeing like the Purple Rain Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince, the When the Doves Cry Prince, the freaking the butt carved out of the pants Prince, just seeing all the variations of Prince like as an army going against these guys, I think that would be really hilarious. I think it would be awesome. Let's see. Jester saying you have to play RD2. It's amazing. I know. It's on my queue. I have a long list of games I've been trying to play. I think after I'm done with Indiana Jones, I'm going to have to rethink of what I'm going to do gaming wise for this year. Star-Lord saying, installing is stuck. Everything is just messed up. Can't even uninstall the update. This exclusive codes back. It's stuck. Oh, geez. I don't know. If anyone in the chat can maybe help Star-Lord with what's happening, I'm not sure. I'm wondering if maybe check your storage, make sure that you have enough room for installation. Maybe sometimes when it runs out of room, it kind of stalls and it messes up, and maybe you missed a message that popped up on the screen. I don't want to say reboot your system just yet if it's in the process of doing something. But if anyone in the chat can help Starlord out, chime in, because I honestly I don't know. Kevin Davis is asking a question. Do you think Warner Brothers will have a comeback in theaters this year? Well, funny you should say that, because I think that leads into a perfect time for us to talk about the 2025 movie releases and what are some of my most anticipated movies are for this year. And this year is going to be a very, very interesting year and telling year of how things are going to be moving forward. Like I said, it's going to be the comeback of the comic book superhero genre after its little break that we had. We're going to see how well people are going to be excited for these movies this year, especially with Superman coming out. And you know, we're just going to see what happens. But Warner Brothers has potential for this year, especially if Superman knocks it out of the park big time. Universal Pictures box office hit films will be Jurassic Park and Wicked. Absolutely. Those are the top two that's going to be driving Universal this year. But I'm going to be honest with you. I think Disney is going to be top all over again. Going to be top all over again, and you'll see why. So let's get into what the most anticipated movies are of this year. We'll go month by month, and I'll keep a running list of the movies that I am highly, highly anticipating. So let me just, get my little notepad out. And we'll do it like this. We'll do a little split screen action here. All right. I think I'm good to go. All right, here we go. So in January, like I said, January, it's going to be kind of a slow month. It's going to be kind of quiet. We have what I'm looking forward to watching is The Last Showgirl. This is Pamela Anderson's kind of return to acting, and she's been getting a lot of praises for this role. So I'm really interested in seeing that. Then the aforementioned Better Man, I think that will do well internationally. I'm looking forward to Wolfman because it's Blumhouse. It's the same people who did The Invisible Man. I feel like they're treating the Universal monsters much better than Universal ever had. So I'm really looking forward to Wolfman. Plus, I do want to see more acting from the lead actress there. I forgot her name, but she is going to be in the Fantastic Four movie as the female Silver Surfer. I'm talking, she was in Ozark, Julia Garner. I want to see more of her acting, and I think this will be a good display of her acting prowess there. But it's not, still, with all that said and done, it's not like my most anticipated movies of the year. Not one of them. But it is something I'm looking forward to seeing. Then you have movies like Back in Action, Netflix movie Wish You Were Here, Flight Risk, which is that very low-key, under-the-radar Mel Gibson movie. When you look at the trailers, they don't really highlight who the director is. They just said from the director of Apocalypto and all that, but it's Mel Gibson, people. Mel Gibson is directing Flight Risk with Marky Wahlberg, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. So I'm very curious what the reception is going to be like for that. Then you have like Inheritance, Dogman. Companion is that interesting kind of horror movie with who's that guy who was on The Boys? Jake Busey? No, not Jake Busey. Quaid, Jack Quaid. He's going to have a big year this year. He's going to be in several movies this year. So we're going to see if Hollywood can turn him into a leading man after he's been doing a lot of stuff on TV. So it'll be really, really interesting to see that. So I am looking forward to Companion, but it's not like a highly anticipated movie. Then we go into February, and you're going to see movies like, Love Hurts and all that, but it's really going to be, boom, February 14th, Valentine's Day, Captain America, Brave New World, which is going to be my first anticipated movie of the year. So let's just write that down. And let's increase the fonts here so everyone can see. There we go. So that is my first anticipated movie of the year. Captain America. Again, we haven't gotten a Marvel superhero film in a while. Let's see how audiences react to this. Let's see how good it is. And let's see how it can move Marvel forward with the stories that they're trying to tell. Monkey is another interesting film based off of the Stephen King novel or Stephen King story, horror film. That's going to be very interesting to see. A new Looney Tunes movie coming out, The Day the Earth Blew Up. That's going to be very interesting to see and all that. So February is going to be an interesting month for sure. We'll see how it all pans out. March is another highly anticipated movie of mine. It was actually an anticipated movie I had for 2024, which is Mickey 17. This is the movie with Robert Pattinson, directed by Bo Jung-ho. I think it's Bo Jung-ho, right? I want to make sure I'm saying his name right. But it is... ooh, what the hell is that? Nope, I didn't want that. I wasn't trying to take a screenshot of anything. Yeah, Bong Joon-ho, who is the director of Parasite, which is like a very, very popular film when that came out. So that is another anticipated movie of mine. I've been hearing so many crazy things about this movie. It got delayed multiple times. It was supposed to come out last year, then they pushed it again into this year. Let's see what happens. It could be an amazingly surprising movie, or it could be a huge disappointment. I don't know. But I'm definitely looking forward to checking this out. Novocaine is the other movie with Jack Quaid. So it's interesting that he's going to be in 2 movies a month after each other. Again, let's see if Hollywood can make him into a leading man. I think he is a good actor. I think he's a very interesting kind of guy. Again, most people only know him from The Boys, and I think he does a voice on one of the Star Trek shows on Paramount Plus, right? So a lot of TV experience, and it'll be really interesting to see what's going to happen moving forward as far as movies are concerned. And then, yes, I am anticipating Snow White. Why? Because I want to see how bad it is. I don't think this movie is going to do well at all. This movie is going to get so much hate, but it's going to get a lot of haters watching it to see how bad it is. I'm anticipating the movie for all the wrong reasons. And I can't wait to check this out because this is going to be a huge mess of a movie. So it makes my list of highly anticipated movies of the year. So that's going to be interesting to see. Then we have movies like Working Man and The Friend. Interesting stuff there to close out March. Before I continue, let me check back with the chat. Star-Lord, no, it's just a physical disk that started working on installing 2 things, stuck on 100% complete, installing. Even injecting this doesn't work or turning the console off. It's right at the third end of the game and the disc is clean. Oh, geez. What system are you using? Is it the Xbox One you're on, Star-Lord? Just let me know. Jester, I don't know why they chose The Day Earth Blew Up over Coyote versus Acme. I don't know. I don't know either. I guess we'll find out why, Jester, when the movie comes out. Kevin, Disney Studio is going to win box office 2025. Absolutely agree. That's basically what I said before, especially with all the stuff coming out this year. Scottish Geek Guy, what's going on, Scottish Geek Guy? I haven't seen you in a while. First of all, Happy New Year. I hope you enjoyed your holidays. I hope you are doing well with the new year. Also, nice to see your channel doing pretty well there. I haven't seen it in a while, but the last time I checked it, I enjoyed some of your videos for sure. So everyone, please make sure to give Scottish Geek Guy a good follow. He does a lot of Blu-ray and physical media reviews too, which I love. And I think, didn't you do a soundtrack remix or comparison lately? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I love seeing what you do there. Just got around to watching Mufasa yesterday. It was pretty meh. You shared the same sentiments that I have. I think it was an unnecessary story to tell. The only thing that I took away from that is that they learned their lessons from Lion King, is that they added emotions to the faces of the animals. But overall, it was just a pretty bland movie. Kevin Davis' Freakier Friday will be Lindsay Lohan's comeback film in theaters. I don't disagree. That has a good potential. She's already doing a slow comeback on platform movies. I think she did like a Hallmark-like holiday movie that I think people enjoyed. I don't know. But we'll see what happens there. Arnold trying to help Star-Lord there with his problem with his console. Check the console status. Everything's fine, but not the game. it could just be something with the disk drive too, Star Lord. Most consoles will have a pinhole that will help you eject the disk from the disk drive. If you could find it, get a needle and poke it, poke it, and that will help the disk drive open up, and then maybe that can help things. Don't do it when the system's open. I think you can do it when the power is off. So try to look into that, Star Lord. Again, sorry you're having those issues, man. That really sucks. Now we're going to April. I know a lot of people are anticipating that Minecraft movie. I am not. I don't even know if I'm going to see it yet, but we'll see. I think it's still going to do decent business at the box office, though, because Minecraft hits many generations, and a lot of people love that franchise. So that could be an interesting thing there. The big movie I think of April will be Sinners. That is the Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan collaboration there. It looks very interesting. It looks very thriller-like, so it'll be something cool to see if they can do something outside of the realm of Marvel. So we'll see what happens there. And then we have The Accountant 2 of Ben Affleck returning to that movie franchise, so that'll be really interesting to see. May gives us another Marvel film that I am also curious about and I am anticipating. That is Thunderbolts. You got to put the asterisk at the end of it, because that is part of the title. This will be a very interesting, again, another huge litmus test as to, are people still curious and interested in Marvel movies, especially with their version of the Suicide Squad, in a way. This is going to be Marvel Suicide Squad. Let's see if people are going to resonate with it and be interested in it. Other movies in the month of May, we have another Final Destination coming out. But Mission Impossible. This is a franchise I love. I think Tom Cruise still kills it. I enjoyed the last one, even though it didn't do as well at the box office as I thought it should. But could this be the final Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise? Let's see. I love the addition of what's her face? The actress. Hold on. Haley Atwell. I love the addition of her. It would be fantastic if she could eventually move on with the franchise as being one of the main characters, because I think a lot of people underestimate how well she could do in action films. So really, really good stuff there. I can't wait to see this movie and how it all closes up, this main storyline that we're in right now. So very interesting seeing that. Then we have Lilo and Stitch, the live action Lilo and Stitch, which I am also anticipating because I'm curious as to how this is going to be. We haven't seen that much, with the exception of some teasers of the CG. We see like Lilo running around on the beach and doing his Lilo stuff, but we haven't seen much of the movie itself. So I'm very curious as how this is going to turn out. Also, since I am a huge Karate Kid fan, Karate Kid Legends, I'm curious, very curious about this movie, and wanting to see what happens here. So this is going to be, May is going to be a very interesting month of movies there. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 anticipated films of 2025 so far. No particular order just yet. And mind you, these are not, everything that you see listed here are not my top 3 anticipated films of the year. Not at all. So we're going to get there. We're getting there. Kevin Davis saying people underestimate Captain America and Thunderbolts at the box office. We'll see. We'll see. Again, Marvel is not at a high point right now. You know, people may be tired of the whole thing. I think it will do well opening weekends for sure. And internationally, it may do very well. But I don't know. I really don't know. I think word of mouth is going to help in these two aspects. If Captain America is fantastic, then people are going to talk about it. And then people are going to be like, oh, really? Maybe I should check it out. And even like the casual fans will be like, all right, I have to go watch this. Because I'll be honest with you, I was one of the hugest Marvel supporters since Iron Man came out in 2008. I have not yet watched Agatha all along because I'm tired I'm exhausted with Marvel. I hesitantly watched What If season 3, and like I said before, I'm kind of bored with it. And that's just after watching the first 2-3 episodes. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. They may have lost their magic and DC may reclaim it. Who knows? We'll see. Jester saying, I really hope Karate Kids Legends doesn't ignore Cobra Kai. Something tells me, and again, this is me I haven't even watched the second part of the last season yet. And the third part's coming out in a couple of months, I believe. This takes place before the events of Cobra Kai. I feel like that's what's going to happen here. So we'll see what happens. I have a feeling the reason why they're timing the parts the way they're timing it is because part 3 of the last season and the movie will tie together because we may see this kid in the movie in the show. That's my prediction. I could be completely wrong and full of shit, but that's what I'm predicting. June, we have some interesting movies here. For me, Ballerina. I'm curious as to how a John Wick spinoff is going to look like. Plus, I've said it many times in the past. Ana de Armas is amazing in action films. She needs to do more of that stuff. And if she can kill this, oh man, could you imagine the opportunities she'll have in more action films? I really can't wait to see how well she's going to do here. For a lot of people, How to Train Your Dragon is a very highly anticipated movie of the year. Elio is another one because it's a Pixar film. I'm not so high on those, so I am going to watch it, but I wouldn't say those are my anticipated movies. 28 Years Later, I am anticipating, but are we a little bit too late with this movie franchise? I don't know. We'll see. But here comes July. Here comes July. My number one most anticipated movie of 2025 is Superman. We've all been dying for a new Superman movie ever since we got Man of Steel. We were all hoping at one point it was going to be Henry Cavill. Unfortunately, we didn't get that. Now we got a new regime here with James Gunn and Peter Safran, a new cast. We got the teaser trailer that broke records. Top performing DC movie trailer of all time. And I think internationally, this movie is going to be one of the most anticipated movies of the year. Because Superman is such an international icon. Just below Spider-Man. And I think this movie, it has potential to do amazing stuff. And if the story is great and we love the characters, then I think this movie is going to do great things for the DCU moving forward. We'll see. It was announced over the holidays that Jason Momoa is being cast as Lobo for the Supergirl film, which I think, personally, I think it's the best casting of a comic book character since Patrick Stewart was cast as Professor X. It's like he was meant for that role. More so than Aquaman. Because remember, my Aquaman that I know is the clean-cut, blonde hair, blue eyes guy, no facial hair, kind of cheesy dude, right? That's my Aquaman. Not the surfer dude that we got, but it worked. Momoa is more of a Lobo in my eyes. And I think that's like some of the best casting I've ever seen. So it's going to be very, very interesting and fun overall. Now, we also going to get before that Jurassic World Rebirth, which I'm sure it's going to do well. But I've been kind of tired of the Jurassic World franchise as of late. I think it's been kind of like shrinking and dwindling as far as entertainment goes. It's becoming a little bit more ridiculous, if anything. But if they can do it right, where they have a good balance of the dinosaurs in the human world, and we see more of that, then that could be something to see. So you're getting that in July too. You're getting the new I Know What You Did Last Summer. They're bringing that franchise back. And then we have my number 2 most anticipated film of the year. And that is The Fantastic Four: First Steps. I have been a major fan of Fantastic Four ever since I was a kid. I love the comics. I love the characters. I love the dynamic of the family. Uh, I've been hoping for a great movie with this group ever since the Tim Story movies came out. You know, we got our Jessica Alba and, you know, for the first Chris Evans Marvel character, which is great and all, you know, and it was, they definitely leaned more into the campy comedic side of things, which I didn't mind so much, but they're not great movies overall. Not great. I'm hoping for greatness, and this has potential here. I like the cast they got. You know, my fingers are crossed. You know, I have a lot of faith riding in this film. If it's a letdown, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. But I can't wait to see what they do with Fantastic Four, because if they treat them well, the possibilities of the storylines that they're going to introduce when we come into Doomsday and Secret Wars, oh, it's going to be phenomenal. So I really cannot wait for that. So yeah, my top two most anticipated movies of 2025 is Superman and the Fantastic Four. Let's see here. Just coming back to the chat. Paramount Pictures and Sony Pictures film slate this year isn't strong at all. That's from Kevin Davis. So far, I agree with you. They might be suffering this year, but they will make up for it, I think, on the TV side of things and streaming side of things. Jester, I think it would be sick if we got Jackie Chan and Cobra Kai. That would be amazing, even if he just showed up in one episode. Let's see. Arnold saying, I don't like Superman. LOWKEY Geek, Batman or Superman, bro? What would you say? I am definitely more of a Batman guy. I love Batman because he's a little bit more grounded. He is a little bit more realistic. I always love characters who come from tragic backgrounds to do right, but them in themselves have to be careful because they may end up becoming bad with the things that they do. His whole storyline and character is so complex that I love it. It leads to more interesting characters than a mythical god that came out of space that basically can wreck anybody. It's harder to write for someone like that. That's why I'm curious if James Gunn can, because if he can do it really well, oh my God. And then he solved the puzzle that everyone's been trying to solve for a long time. So I can't wait for that. Let's see. Starlord saying Batman is my favorite, but Superman has my respect. Batman is actually my favorite of all superheroes. I think a lot of people would agree with you there, Starlord. PDQ, I don't like Supes either, but this movie has me excited. Like I said, it's hard to root for someone who's just invulnerable, who's just immortal, right? But if they find a way to do it, you know, or they find a way to pretty much create a great supporting cast around him, then I think that's fantastic. You know, I think it'll be great. Started saying, yeah, bro, Zod is another great villain. You know, one of the only true villains, more so in the comics than in the movies, that really, really went toe-to-toe with Superman, and that was fantastic. So, yeah, totally agree there. All right, we're moving into August now, where we have, we're bringing things from the past once again. The Naked Gun is coming out with a reboot there. The animated sequel to The Bad Guys is coming out. Freakier Friday, the aforementioned Freakier Friday that Kevin brought up, that could reinvigorate Lindsay Lohan's movie career. I think that would do really well in theaters, especially with families, so that could be good. Nobody 2, we got that coming back with a sequel here. And then another Insidious movie. Then in September, we have a new Conjuring movie, another Downton Abbey movie, and then we got The Bride, which is a very interesting film that I am anticipating because it's being directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, and it's starring Jessie Buckley and Christian Bale in it. And this could be fantastic. I believe this is a Blumhouse movie too. Let's see, The Bride movie. Let's see here. It's Warner Brothers. Okay, it's a Warner Brothers film, but it is a take on kind of Frankenstein's Bride storyline, which could be fascinating. So I am very much anticipating this movie because I'm just curious as to how they're going to treat it overall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. Now we come in October where we have movies like Michael. That is the Michael biopic. That's going to be very interesting to see. I wouldn't say that's one of my most anticipated movies of the year. But then we have Tron Ares. Disney is trying to bring this franchise back. Tron Legacy was a movie that I wished was better, and I had high expectations for, and I left the theater very meh. And I was so confused why. Daft Punk soundtrack was great, but the movie in itself was just it felt like it didn't go anywhere. You know, maybe I need to rewatch it now because it's been a long time since I've seen it. But they're trying to bring this back. You got Nine Inch Nails, you know, kind of reuniting to do the soundtrack for this. You have Jared Leto in the movie. So it could be interesting. We don't know anything else is what's going to be in this movie, but it could be interesting. But I'm hesitant. So I'm not saying I'm anticipating this movie at all. But I will definitely be there to watch it and check it out. Then we also have the sequel to Black Phone and some other movies there. Now in November, we have The Running Man, which is one of my anticipated movies of the year because it's a reboot or a remake of the famous Arnold Schwarzenegger Running Man movie, which was an original Stephen King writing, a novel, I believe. Stephen King wrote the novel on. You got Glenn Powell in the lead. You got Thanos himself, Josh Brolin as one of the bad guys. So this is going to be interesting. It's going to be really, really interesting. And I'm curious because if it is good, man, that would be such a treat. Such a treat. You know, and Glenn Powell is like, you know, thanks to last year, one of the hottest leading men's right now. So it'll be really interesting to see how he does in this type of movie. Then we got Predator Badlands, which is another take on Predator. It looks like they're going to go through more of like the Western era in this one. So that could be very good. That could be a sleeper hit. I don't know how this franchise keeps going, but you have Now You See Me 3 coming out. Those movies have been so boring to me. Like the first movie was very disappointing. And then you got the sequel. You can Now You Can See Me Too was like, I don't know why these movies do well, but they do. So you got those movies coming out. Then you got the sequel to Wicked, which is called Wicked for Good. I am looking forward to this movie, and I'm sure it's going to do extremely well. And then you got the sequel to Zootopia also coming out in November. And then December, sequels galore. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Avatar, Fire and Ash, The Housemaid, which is a new movie with Sydney Sweeney, and The Anaconda that was announced during the holiday, which is a remake of Anaconda from back in the day, now starring Jack Black and Paul Rudd. It looks like they're leaning in more to the comedic side of things for that movie. But I would also say that Avatar, Fire and Ash is a highly anticipated movie because these movies constantly surprise the hell out of me. Constantly do. Avatar, the first one, surprised me. I thought it was great. I thought it was a lot of fun. Avatar 2, I was like, how are they going to do a sequel to this movie, especially all these years later? Blew my mind. Was a lot of fun, very entertaining, killer at the box office. I learned you can't count James Cameron out. Don't ever think he's not going to put out a good product because he does all the time. Avatar Fire and Ash is going to be my call for 2025's biggest box office performer of the year. I'm calling it Avatar Fire and Ash will be the top winner at the box office. I missed out last year with Deadpool and Wolverine, but I came in second. You know, so my streak has ended. But I think Avatar Fire and Ash will be the top performer of 2025 there. So, as Arnold said too, don't forget Happy Gilmore 2 is coming out on Netflix. It's not going to be releasing in theaters, so but it is going to be interesting to see how that movie pans out. I don't know what I feel about it, honestly. You know, Adam Sandler looks super old right now. Everyone looks super old. It's always hard to bring back or come back into uh, a franchise when everyone has aged on so much. It's been how long? 20 years since the last movie or so. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see how that's going to work. But I'll watch it. I'll give it a shot. Happy Gilmore is a great movie, but I don't know. I'm very, very mixed on my feelings for this sequel. Arnold saying, imagine Batman having sex and the women say, whispering me something in my ear and just say, I'm Batman. Or imagine that's what he says when he actually comes.
I'm gonna come. How about you thank them, dickless? You blew it!
Starlord saying Man of Steel was excellent. I agree with you. Oh, Starlord got the game working. Good. Oh my God, shut up. Wow. Everyone just keeps laughing. I'm glad you got the game working. What game? What? Oh yeah, it's Friday the 13th, right? I'm glad you got it to work. PDQ, I wonder if Wicked Part 2 leans more into the books. They would have to, because there's not much more to expand on. If you've seen the musical, it's not that long of a second half there after the intermission. So I would assume that they're probably going to have to lean into more of the books. Plus, it's already been said that Cynthia Erivo will be doing a new song, an original song in the second part. That's not part of the musical soundtrack. So it's going to be really interesting to see how people are going to take to that and if it's going to end up becoming good at all. So that's going to be very interesting to see. Zootopia 2 is the most anticipated for PDQ. I hope it's good. It's been, again, another series that it's been such a long time since we've been there in that world. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do with it. Started saying, yeah, but it's for us, it's for the fans. I'm not sure what you're referring to on that one. Jester, it's been 29 years. Oh my God, has it been 29 years? Jeez. Woo, that has been such a long time. Yeah, no wonder why everyone looks super old. I mean, if you saw how I looked like 29 years ago, you'll be like, dude, is that you? PDQ saying there is a key character they left out of the play, so that can add a ton more context. I'm curious, you know, because I did visit a Barnes and Noble when I was on holiday break, which I love to do from time to time. And I did see a lot of people buying the Wicked book, the original book. It also helps that they did like special editions and deluxe editions to kind of tie in with the movie. So I wonder if the sales of the books increased as well, along with the increased ticket sales of the musical itself, because you would think that people would be interested on what the original source material was that made the musical, right? And like you, who've read the book, I know you did, you told me about it, there's a lot of things that they left out. So it would be really interesting to see what they could expand on from the book. But at this point, I think they would have to expand because or use the books to expand, because if they're making a 2+ hour movie on the second half of the play after the intermission, you're not talking about a lot of content at all. And if you saw Wicked, you saw what there were moments where you could tell they were stretching things out for sake of stretching it out. So Arnold saying, you old. Well, thank you again for the reminder. You're fired.
You blew it! Fuck off!
They should have Drew Carey. Could you imagine? Since Bob Barker is gone, instead have Drew Carey as someone he teams up with. That would be pretty damn funny, Star-Lord. That would be pretty hilarious. I like the new covers for the 4 books. See, PDQ is a book nerd, so I love that. Sorry, out of context, I mean they are making Happy Gilmore 2 for the fan. Oh, for the fans. Yeah, I think, no, look, I'll be honest with you. Adam Sandler is at that stage in his life where he doesn't give a shit about what happens. He has so much money, you know, he has the Netflix money in the contract that and you could tell he loves doing stuff with his buddies, with his friends. So he most of the time when he does these new movies, he's just hanging out for like a week or two with these guys as they make their movies. I mean, count all the new Adam Sandler movies that come out in the last 5 years. Most of them have sucked, right? Happy Gilmore 2 is an excuse for him to return making a movie with his friends again. And maybe he has a fondness for the character. Maybe his children, his daughters, love the original movie, and maybe he's doing it for them, right? So the script could be mediocre, barely passable. And you're like, yeah, let's do it, whatever. Hey, Netflix is paying me anyway. Hey, Rob Schneider, you're having a tough break. Come in my movie. Let's do Happy Gilmore 2 and blah, blah, blah. Like I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot of that stuff, I mean, so we'll see what happens. I don't have high expectations for it. If it is at least enjoyable and funny, then that's a win for me. So we'll see, when it's all said and done. So yeah, so let me close this out. So yeah, so those, again, to recap, these are my highest anticipated films of the year. Captain America, Brave New World, Mickey 17, Snow White, for all the wrong reasons, Thunderbolts, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, Lilo and Stitch, Karate Kid Legends, Ballerina, Superman, The Fantastic Four First Steps, The Bride, The Running Man, and Avatar Fire and Ash. Superman and Fantastic Four being my top 2 most anticipated films of 2025. And Avatar Fire and Ash, my prediction of the box office winner of 2025. Also, my list doesn't include the stuff that I see at New York Film Festival and all the indie and international films, none of the Japanese films that I watched throughout the years, and none of the Oscar baity stuff yet. So as the year goes on, a lot of the movies that I watch will be changed and added. I looked at my Letterboxd and I watched like almost 140 movies last year. So I'm pretty sure that's going to increase this year. So let's see what happens when it's all said and done when we do this recap again next year. So fun stuff. The movies, they're going to have an interesting time in this year, and I hope people will be around to support it, because there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff overall, a lot of good stuff, good and possibly some bad stuff along the way. So, but I'm here for it. I'm here for the ride. You can do it.
You blew it!
Is this year's House of the Dragons? No, I think House of the Dragons, Arnold, is next year. Arnold, I love you too. Love you back. I love messing around with you. Yeah, I think this year, as far as TV is concerned, we are getting the spin-off of House of the Dragon, and I think no, spin-off of Game of Thrones. House of the Dragon season 3, I think, comes out next year. Which means, because I remember I saved an article that highlighted the big shows coming out this year. Let's see, give me a moment. That's something we could talk about to end the stream out. Let's see. Stoller saying, I've been seeing Rob doing politicals. Yeah, he's been doing a lot of that stuff. That's why he's been getting a lot of crap too, unfortunately. Also, quick reminder, if you're watching live on the stream, don't forget, hit that like button. A lot of us will greatly appreciate it. Let's see. I know. Give me one moment, guys. Sorry. I apologize in advance. But I know I had... Oh, here we go. TV premiere dates, the complete guide. Thank you, Hollywood Reporter. You are my hero. All right, so here is all the TV that's coming out this year, and there's a lot of them. There really is. And I guarantee you right now, I'm not going to have a chance to watch them all. But let's see. I'm not going to like talk about everything. I'll just talk about the things that would stand out overall. Because you could see there's just way too much shit. Let's see. Golden Globes just happened. Monday Night Raw, that's tonight. I'm looking forward to that. Abbott Elementary is coming back Let's see. The Traders. A lot of people are looking forward to that. Hollywood Squares is coming back. What? A new Goosebumps. Let's see. A Real Bug's Life on Disney Plus coming out this month. The Harley Quinn new season's coming out. The animated show on Max. Severance. I know a lot of people love that show. I have still yet to watch it. Let's see what else is happening here. New Penn and Teller. Watson. Bachelor, if you're into that. Let's see. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man on Disney Plus. So that's good. I'm looking forward to watching that. The trailer came out that I missed. I didn't have a chance to watch it yet, but looking at the stills from it, that looks like that could be a fun show. Let's see. Now we go into February. Let's see what else is coming out here. And if anything stands out to you guys, let me know in the chat. We got the new season of Invincible coming back on Amazon Prime. That could be a lot of fun. Let's see. The Witcher. This is the new Witcher, Sirens of the Deep. I believe this is the one now with the Hemsworth guy coming back in February. Cobra Kai, the final chapter, the final part will be in February. So I got to catch up on everything before that all happens. Yellow Jackets is back in February. I can't wait for that, honestly. I love Yellow Jackets. That's a great show. If you like The Equalizer, that's coming back. Reacher. Let's see what else here. Suits LA. I know a lot of people are talking about that. Survivor's back. And then now we're going into March. The Oscars will be there in March. I'll be live streaming that as always. So tune in for that. And yes, here we go. March 4th, Daredevil Born Again. I love Daredevil so much that I will more than likely be doing weekly reviews and recaps on this series. So I'm really looking forward to that. American Idol comes back in March. The $100,000 pyramid. What are they doing? Are they like bringing back all the old game shows and putting it back on TV? What's going on here? You have Hollywood Squares and now $100,000 period. What's next? The Match Game? That's crazy. Let's see. Okay, now April, we got Andor season 2. I'm looking forward to that. What's the chat saying? Jester saying can't wait for the Sunny and Abbott Elementary crossover. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of promotion on that. That if you're a fan of both shows, I'm sure that's going to be a fantastic thing to see. I watch more movies than shows, but there's a couple that I like. Star, let us know which ones. I've heard it is possible to see Adam Sandler often in New York. He even likes to take pictures. He's a very nice guy, but you can't bother him too much, you know. And I think, and I see a lot on Instagram that people love to bother him all the time and all that when he's walking down the street or when he's ordering coffee. But he's a very friendly dude, you know, and he's very approachable. But you know, if he's in a zone, you can tell he doesn't want to be bothered and all that. But he'll say hi to you and all that. He may take pictures with you. I have never seen Adam Sandler walking around in the city, but a lot of people who live, especially in the Village area where he lives, you have a great shot of seeing him, especially in the mornings, from what I hear. Pyramid has been back on a few years now. It has it really? Well, it goes to show you how I don't really watch network television anymore. Star saying Rob was speaking at colleges with Charlie Kirk. I don't know who Charlie Kirk is, but you know, sounds like a political name. So April we have Andor season 2. May doesn't look like we have much in May. June. Oh, Ironheart debuts in June. Oh my gosh! Finally, after what, 3 years? After what seems like forever, we're finally going to get to see Ironheart in June on Disney Plus. Nothing July. August, we're gonna get Eyes of. Oh my God, we're getting a lot of Marvel shows, guys, in this year. This does not sound good to me, honestly. When you have what we have 3 Marvel movies already this year. Now we have what, 3 Marvel shows? Oh boy. But we have Eyes of Wakanda coming out in August. And Marvel Zombies in October. What's happening? And Wonder Man in December? Marvel. I don't know if these dates are solid yet or if these things will change. But what is going on, man? Wow, that's a lot of Marvel shows coming out this year. Oof. Well, there you go. You got all that coming out. But what hasn't been mentioned also is that we're getting The Last of Us Season 2 on HBO. Max series releases of 2025. I believe we are getting Season 2 of The Last of Us, which is going to be exciting. I can't wait for that, especially since I've never played the second game, so this will be interesting. We're also getting Peacemaker, Righteous Gemstones, White Lotus is coming back. Let's see, what else are we getting? And here we go. Game of Thrones, what I was mentioning before. Game of Thrones spin-off, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is what's coming out this year. So you got all that to look forward to. So that's coming out. I don't know. There's no premiere date announced yet, but that is the only Game of Thrones show we're getting this year, it looks like. We're also getting Welcome to Derry, the It spin-off series, which sounds interesting. We're getting an original documentary, Pee-wee as himself, which is something I'm looking forward to. So yeah, so that's all the Max stuff coming out. So again, it's a busy year for movies and an extremely busy year for TV, for whatever you're a fan of. And like I said, there are certain things that stand out, and I guarantee you I'm not going to be able to watch all of them the minute they come out, but I will do my best. I will definitely do my best and all. So, but yeah, let me know what you're looking forward to and what you're anticipating this year, movies or TV. So I was saying he speaks to colleges about why it's good to vote for Trump. It's just a campaign. Okay. Well, you know, I don't talk politics on this channel, and I had my share of it during the holidays. So good for them. I'll say that. Arnold saying, imagine you walk across the street and Adam Sandler hit you with a car and then everything's fine and you say you won't do a photo with him. Well, that's a different story, Arnold. Not only will I take a photo with him, but I'll sue his ass too because he got the Netflix money, son.
You blew it! Fuck off!
Wow.
I'm gonna come.
And I want some of that bag because what did we say at the beginning of the stream? This year, let's get it. Let's get our bag, people. Let's do it. I want that Netflix money. Oh, man. Could you imagine? Like, oh, Adam, you hit me. Oh, hey, can I take a selfie? Thanks. By the way, I'm suing your ass. I have it on camera. You can afford it. That or put me in one of your movies. That's perfectly fine too. And I don't care if the movie sucks. I at least can live the rest of my life saying I was in an Adam Sandler movie. Get that back, 2025. Let's go. Yeah, I don't watch anymore just because I wanted to see new things. What don't you watch anymore, Star-Lord? But Rob is cool. Rob is all right. He's cool. He's an interesting guy. My family always loves reminding me that he's Filipino, but I don't give a shit. You have to understand when it comes to Filipinos, they'll support you no matter what just because you're Filipino. Zolan. Just the other day, I was PDQ will remember this. I kept referring to Schneider's American Gigolo or something Gigolo. You know that part whenever he was going out with the very tall girl, and there's always someone in the background that screams out, "That's a huge bitch." That shit gets me every time, man. That is like the funniest shit. I should add that to the soundboard. That could be something new I'll add in 2025. Not a lot of application for it though. That's the thing. That's the only downside. Deuce Bigelow. Yeah, that's it. That's a huge bitch. And of course, here, I didn't cover any video games coming out this year because I'll be honest, even if there's a game that I'm anticipating, I'm not going to get around to playing it. You know, so it's going to be a waste of time. But if you guys have any anticipated games you're looking for this year coming out that you would love to play, let us know in the chat too. I'll hang out for like another 5 minutes before I call it a day. You know. And as a reminder, next week, I will be streaming again on Monday as usual, but I will also be streaming on Friday. I believe it's Friday. Next week, yeah, Friday the 17th in the morning, my time. Because that is going to be the live announcements of the Oscar nominations. So I'm going to be streaming that live and commenting and then giving my thoughts on all that. And then, of course, come March, I'll be streaming when the Oscars are on TV, like I do every year. I don't know if my friend Blake will be joining me this time. His schedule is just all over the place, but at least I'll be here and I'll be enjoying the festivities and all that. So, PDQ, Marvel Rivals tonight. You're damn right. It's been a while. By the way, I'm enjoying that Marvel Rivals game. I haven't played it since the holidays, but boy, if you haven't played it yet, do it because it's a lot of fun, especially if you're a fan of Overwatch. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Arnold saying my ex had big. Okay, I don't know what to say.
You blew it!
Wow.
Ficon, Happy New Year, buddy. I hope you enjoyed the holidays. I hope you had a great New Year. 5 minutes, yes. You know, I've been streaming now for what? Almost 2.5 hours. So my first stream back from the holidays and for the New Year. So yeah, we talked about a lot of things. More about the box office of 2024, my most anticipated movies of the year. Ficon, for you, because I know you're a big Star Wars guy, I have been enjoying Skeleton Crew still. I think the last episode, directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, is the best episode of the series so far. You know, it just goes to show you the pedigree of her directing and how well she could make an episode. I love the story with KB, you know, and all that stuff. So really cool stuff. I didn't even talk about Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos is still a show that I am really enjoying. If you're not watching Creature Commandos, I highly recommend it. Especially if you love the James Gunn humor and action senses, you know, like the way he does action. It's very much Suicide Squad. It really is. But I love how every episode focuses on a singular character, how you get such deep emotional storylines. The show is still great. It really is, and it's a lot of fun. So I think this week is the last episode of this season. It was renewed for season 2, so I'm looking forward to reviewing it all when it's all said and done. So I was saying Marvel Rivals looks good, definitely. Why are you jealous? You could play Marvel Rivals because it's free to play for everybody. Star-Lord. Vicon saying, love the holidays. What about you? Yeah, the holidays was fun. I spent it in Maryland with my family. And then after that, I spent some time by myself just to recharge the batteries, so to speak. So overall, I can't complain. Ate a lot of food, gained some weight, learned that my cholesterol is off the charts, so I'm on medication. You know, all the good stuff about getting old. Arnold saying 5 minutes, this is why I have to say to my ex, no, I'm joking. That's a huge bitch.
You blew it! Fuck off!
Art says, reminds me of Battlefront 2. Kinda. Yeah, kinda. Uh, if it was more about powers and melee fighting, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, but if you, like I said, it really, anyone who ever played Overwatch will know immediately how to play this game. It's a lot of fun. I do highly recommend it. It's free to play. You could easily get in there and all that. Fight on New Year's was incredible. Running around with my friends and firing fireworks was so fun. That's awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun. Arnold, did you have fireworks in Germany? I don't know if I ever told you my story about Germany. The only time I've been to Germany, I went there to celebrate New Year's, and I was visiting a female friend who, you know, we had shared interest in each other, and we were spending the New Year's together. And we were in Frankfurt, and we celebrated New Year's by the harbor over there. And my gosh, it is insanity, the amount of people and their fireworks and the drinking and just how out of control it all was. It was just amazing. It was a fun experience, but also kind of scary if you're not used to that stuff. My famous story that I love telling is that there was an old guy standing next to a table, and he's just drinking his beer and all that, and a firework literally went off right beside him on the table, and his jacket caught on fire. And in one singular motion, he didn't even like jump. The thing went off, jacket caught on fire. He looked at it, did like that, continued drinking, as if nothing ever happened. I mean, that dude won the day for me. He won the day. It was just awesome. I don't think too much fireworks. I don't like it because I have. Oh, your poor dog. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I feel like New Year's and here in the States, July 4th is the worst days for dogs. Bro, if you want to come to Munich, let me know. I'll take extra for a few days off. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I've always wanted to go back to Germany because there are places I still haven't had a chance to go, like Munich, for example. So I'll definitely let you know for sure. I don't know when that will ever be, but I would love to go back to Germany one day. I had a lot of fun there. And I love German food, so I love also the Christmas markets. I mean, you guys know how to do it well over there. It's so much fun. But Ficon, I'm glad you enjoyed your New Year's and your holidays. I hope this year is going to be great for you and for all of us here. You know, again, I can't say it enough how happy I am to have this community, how happy I am that you guys enjoy my company, enjoy talking about the things we talk about, showing your support and all. So I'm very, very thankful for all of you guys. And before I get any more emotional and blah, 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 sis boom ba, all that kind of stuff, Arnold saying you have to go to the BMW museum. I did go to that because wasn't that in Berlin? Yeah, I think I did do that, and I loved it. I thought it was awesome. And of course, I saw some of the sites. I went to the Olympic Stadium because that, for me, that was very meaningful. You know, as someone who, you know, read history and know, I love the Olympics and I know the big significance that happened there. The comic book shops I didn't have a chance to visit a lot of, but I definitely would love to do that next time. Only because the person I'm with is not into any of that stuff, so I would love to do that more next time. But the BMW museum, if that was the place I went to, I really, really enjoyed it big time. Arnold, you watch football, and if so, what's your favorite team in Germany? Oh, that's a good question. My favorite football team is Tottenham Hotspur, and we suck this season. So I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of changes coming to the team soon. But that's my favorite football team. Oh no, Ficon doesn't seem to be very happy about that. Bayern Munich. Nice. Oh, it's your club's biggest rivals? Oh, no. Well, that's fun. That's still fun. You could root against, you know, the opposing teams, you know? You know what it is about Tottenham? Amazon did a series about them. many years ago. Obviously, this was when Henry Kane was still with them, and there was just something about the dynamics of the group, the friendships, and how they got along that really, really drew me to the team. And after watching that series, I became a big fan of theirs. Unfortunately, Harry left, and Sung is I think his age is starting to show a little bit. He's still good, but you could see, especially when he's playing with the younger kids. But for whatever reason, they struggle every season, and it sucks. And it shows a pattern with me too, because all the teams that I love are all the same. Baseball, the Mets, always showing promise, and then something bad happens. And then it's like they're just at reach for the championship, and then something bad happens. The Knicks for basketball, again, same similar team. Always promising season, and they get so close, and then we lose it, right? So you could see it. There's a pattern with the teams that I root for. Icon said Marino was manager during the time, and he's one of the greatest managers of all time. I definitely agree with that for sure, and you can see, but I don't know what it is. Sometimes I think it's the chemistry of the players. Plus, I think right now for us, the Spurs, we are suffering on the goalie side. We don't have a prominent goalie. We don't have a good goalie right now. Yeah, our defense is what's lacking too. So our back end, the back, just not good at defense. We have scorers for days, but we can't defend for anything. And our goalie situation is abysmal. Arnold, what's your story before we go? Vicario is good, but he's been injured. Yeah, that's true too. Where the Chiefs in Munich are true, we drove to the game and at a shop, true Travis Kelce. I just, what the fuck, bro? Amazing. And bro cries from afar, hey, yo, Taylor Swift. That's funny. That's funny. That's cool. Were you there, Arnold, or is just something that you heard? Pycon, who's your team? I don't think you mentioned it. Oh wait, that's your icon, isn't it? I can't. It's small on my screen. That's why I can't really see it. Chelsea, that's it. Okay. Yeah, it's always fun to watch Spurs and Chelsea go at each other. I do enjoy watching those games. Oh, Arnold, you were there. That's funny. Starred said he edited a team in Madden and he would never beat. I haven't played a Madden game in so long. But you know what I started playing yesterday? Again, this is because I'm really into wrestling these days. I haven't played a wrestling game since 2016. So I finally, because it's on sale on the PlayStation Store, and yes, I'm finally playing on my PlayStation. I bought the mega release of WWE 2K24 that includes all the DLC, all the stuff. At one point, this bundle cost $125. It was on sale for $60. So for the holidays, so I bought it, and I've been having so much fun with it, and it's so good because I played it with my friend over the weekend, and I haven't played it at all, and we had so much fun with it. So I'm definitely getting into that. Guys is called, and I hope I'm not butchering this, Göteborgs Atlet och Idrottsredskap. If I butchered that, then please, I apologize. Göteborgs Atlet och Idrottsredskap. I promise you, I am not having a stroke right now. Starlord saying New Orleans Saints all wearing black visors with stats all maxed out. Oh, that sounds pretty. That sounds pretty intense, there, Starlord. I'm sure that's an awesome team. Stars, I hustled my dad with that too. Nice. Very nice. The last part was terrible, but the rest was decent. That's a tough one for me. That really is. But I'm glad I got some of it right. Is it Idro or Idro? Idro salsa. I'm gonna give up before I butcher it even more. I find language is very fascinating, so it's great when you guys introduce me to new things. Arnold saying, I know the hotel where Arnold Schwarzenegger is always at Oktoberfest because that's where my uncle works in that hotel. Well, then I'm going to that hotel, Arnold, because I would love to experience Oktoberfest in Germany at least once in my life. So when that time comes and I know I can do, I'm going to be reaching out to you and you're going to give me the details and all that. I don't care if Arnold is there or not. I'm going there and we're hanging out. Drink our faces off.
You blew it!
You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, Idrostasaskaskakap. But I think I'm going to call it a day, guys. This has been a lot of fun. I'm glad I got a chance to see most of you and hang out with some of you. Yes, Arnold, of course, we'll get some of the ladies to join us when we'll hang out in our Oktoberfest fun. But guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week. I will be back again, like I said, next Monday. 2 live streams next week, mainly because of Monday and the Oscar nominations on that Friday. Plus, it's also my birthday. So we can celebrate a little bit then. But until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Again, big shout outs to Vicon, Arnold, Star-Lord. Always happy to see you here. Kevin Davis, PDQ, Jester. Always a pleasure. Did I say Kevin Davis? I think I did. Scorched, who I haven't seen in a while. Hope to see you once again in the future stream. And if I missed anybody else, I apologize. If you are also one of the silent watchers in the background, I love you equally. I hope you all are doing great and all that good stuff. Ficon saying bye-bye. Hopefully see you next week. Same here. Take care to you too, Arnold. Jester saying, oh, I got a Goodfellas Funko Pop. But other than that, have a good week. Jester, you should take a picture of that. Share it with us. Would love to see that. But yeah. So I will see you guys next week. Don't forget, tip your waitress and your bartender. Turn off your phones at the movie theaters. Stay cool, stay classy, stay safe. I will catch you all next week, y'all. Peace out, y'all. Bye-bye.